welcome back. This is week 3, part 2, Introduction to LINQ for C#. We have 3 exercises this time around, and we're going to do the exercises exactly as how they're written in the notes. So we're not going to deviate anything at all from these 3 LINQ exercises. What we're going to do first is outline what exercise 1 is. I've already created my project, so you can go ahead and create your console project to catch up if you need to. And the question for exercise 1 is duplicate word removal. So we're going to write an app that inputs a sentence from the user, assuming no punctuation, then determines and displays the non-duplicate words in alphabetical order. We're going to treat uppercase and lowercase as the same. We can use string split with no arguments to break up a sentence into an array of strings. By default, with no arguments in string split, it essentially uses space as its delimiter. We can work with toLower to convert everything to lower to make it easier, and order by in LINQ, as well as select in order to query our lowercase version of each word. So let's go ahead and try this. So first thing we're going to do is ask the user to enter a sentence. So we'll say console.writeLine. Say enter a sentence. All right. And we'll get in an input, so we'll say string, call it inString equals console.readLine. All right. No need to convert anything this time because we're actually dealing with text this time around. Let's start by splitting things up. So we'll say string with square brackets to indicate an array. We'll call it split words equals inString.split. No arguments again means split by spaces. Now let's formulate our query, our LINQ query here. So we're going to say var. We always use var for queries and in LINQ queries, and we'll call it list sorted equals. Now our query is going to be from, we'll call it word in split words. Use a new line to make it readable. We'll say let lower string equal word dot to lower order by lower string, which by default goes in ascending order anyway. We'll say select lower string. All right, so that's our query, our LINQ query right there. Now we need to print it back out. So we'll say for each var I in list sorted dot distinct. Now why am I using distinct? Because we don't want duplicates. So if we do list sorted dot distinct, it only spits out the unique words in this string array. Let's do a console.writeLine for I. And then finally, a console.readKey. And that's it. That's it for exercise 1. So let's hit start. It says enter a sentence. We're going to use some duplicates in this on purpose. So we'll say hello world, my name is Elmo. World, hello. Could my name get any longer? No punctuation, so I'll take the question mark out. Hit enter. So what do we have here? Any could Elmo get hello is longer my name world. And the duplicates are gone. All right, so that is exercise 1 for LINQ. So let's move on now to exercise 2. All right, so we'll do Control-Shift-N for a new project. So we can do console app again, and we'll call it W3P2 exercise 2. and it'll be week 3. Place solution, same directory, .NET 472, hit create, let it create the project. So there we go, we have it. But before we begin, let's recap the question. So the question is, write an app that inserts 30 random letters into a list of chars. Okay, perform the following queries on the list and display your results. Use LINQ to sort the list in ascending order. Use LINQ to sort the list in descending order. Display the list in ascending order with duplicates removed. Hint, strings can be indexed like arrays to access a character at a specific index. All right, so let's do this. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to define my random object. I'm going to say random rnd equals new random. I'm going to define my list. So I'm going to say list of char, call it rand chars, equals new list of char. Now I'm going to do a for loop from 0 less than 30 to randomly define a random character. So I'm going to say for int I equals 0, I is less than 30, I plus plus. So let's define a random character. We'll say char random char equals, and we'll cast a char. We'll say rnd dot next, and inside next we'll specify a minimum and maximum. So here's the interesting thing. We're going to say a comma set. So it's giving me random characters from A to Z that it will save as random char, and we'll insert them into our list. So we'll say rand chars dot add random char. All right, so at this point inside this for loop we have our random characters. Now before we begin, let's print them out just for comparison. So we'll say console.writeLine, and we'll say original. All right, and then we'll do our for each. So for each char c in rand chars, we'll do console.write, and we'll say c plus a comma. All right, now let's reorder our characters. So let's create our query. We're going to say var ascn for ascending equals from ch in rand chars order by ch ascending, which isn't necessary because by default it is ascending, but we'll do it anyway just for completeness. We'll say select ch. All right, so that gives us ascending order. Now let's start by printing out ascending. So we'll say console.writeLine, we'll say ascending, we'll say sorted ascending. Now we can say for each char c in ascn dot distinct, where we want distinct, then we'll do another console writeLine. We'll say c plus a comma. All right. So let's work on this so far. Let's see what we've done so far. We should have probably printed out the original characters, but it's okay. We'll print out the original in comparison to ascending. So let's run this. Oh, we forgot our console read key, of course. Oops. So console.read key. All right, let's give it a shot. All right, so we have our characters, and now we have sorted ascending. You notice that the list is much shorter, going in alphabetical order. I should probably put a /n for this to get it to go to the new line for better readability. So let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Fix up our output. We're going to say /n over here, and that should fix things. Now let's go with descending. So we need to create another LINQ query for descending. We're going to say var dscn equals from ch in randchars order by ch descending select ch. Now we'll do another set of console write lines to print this back to the screen. So we'll say console.writeLine. We'll say another /n, don't forget that. We'll say sorted descending. Now we'll do our, oops, forgot the semicolon. There we go. Now we'll say for each char c in dsn or dscn dot distinct. Now we'll say console dot write. We'll say first of all c plus and then a comma. And that should be it. Let's give it a run and let's see what the result is. So let's put it over there so you can still see the code. So we have our original letters, sorted ascending, all right, sorted descending, all right. And so there you have it. That's exercise 2. Now let's move on to exercise 3. So first thing we'll do is Control-Shift-N, new project, we'll say console app, hit next, call it W3P2 exercise 3, and give it a home. All right, so we got our fresh project right there. Now, before we continue, the question for exercise 3, which is called find small words, is to consider the following array of strings. We're going to have string words, it's an array that has hello, wonderful, LINQ, beautiful, and world. Write a C# program that uses LINQ to find the words having length of 5 or less. All right, so let's get into our exercise here by first defining our words. Say string words equals hello, wonderful, LINQ, beautiful, world. All right. Now, first off, what I want to do is I want to print out these original words to the user so they can see the original words before we get into shortening these down and printing out the final result. So we'll say console.writeLine. We'll say original words. Then we'll do a for each string orig in words. We'll do a console dot write orig plus a space so they don't get joined together as one gigantic word. All right, that should print out our original words. Let's do a console dot read key. So don't forget that. Let's give it a run. All right, the original words are hello, wonderful, LINQ, beautiful world. So we have the original text there. All right, Now let's move on to this. So we'll say var shorties equals, we'll say from sh in words where sh.length is less than or equal to 5, select sh. All right, so that's our query. We're going to say from sh in words where sh.length is less than 5. There's our where clause will only return back character lengths that are 5 or less. All right, so we're going to select that word. All right, so we now have our list of words that are 5 or less in length. So let's print that back out. So we'll say console.write and we'll do a /n. We'll say short words. We'll do a, oh, forgot our semicolon. We'll do a for each string sh in shorties. We'll do a console.write and we'll say sh plus a space. All right, and that's it. We've got our console read key already. So that is the block of code. Let's give this a run. And there you have it. That's the result. So hello, wonderful LINQ, beautiful world. Also, the short words are hello, LINQ, world. All right, and that completes exercise 3. That completes all 3 exercises for our LINQ discussion. And this completes week 3, part 2. You may now move on to week 4 and begin week 4 material. Congratulations, we are now done with console applications. Now we're going to move on to graphical stuff. So from here on in, we're going to leave the console, throw it in the trash, whatever you want to do, and move on to the world of WPF and XAML. So we can do some GUI utilities there.